come back to the pelvic tilts. Bring your legs a little closer together and just drop them a little right and left. Coming back, if you'd like, up here. Just coming a little side to side, and see if you could do this without using your arms. The arms add a little more stabilization, but we want to make sure we don't over-engage into the back of our arms. Come back center and come back to femur arcs. Coming back to tapping one leg down at a time, maybe extending, finding the distance that works for you. And then bring both legs up and see how low can you drop them, maintaining your neutral spine. Bend your knees, wrap your hands around your hamstrings. As you exhale, press your legs into your hands, lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Stay here, bring your hands behind your head and stay here. As you exhale, extend your left leg, aim your left armpit towards your right knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Continue breathing and moving. And I'm hoping that you start to feel the abdominal muscles kicking in, finding a nice twist in your torso. I'd like to do 4 more each side, 3 more each side, 2 and 1. And then come back to those circles, opening up those knees simultaneously outside and reverse it. Now we're going to take our feet to the mat and reach your hands to the sky. And let's just bring one arm behind you at a time. The other arm can come all the way down to the floor, and just exploring the range of motion in your shoulder joints. Maybe do both arms behind you and exhale as you go back. Now let's bring both hands by your hips and bring both legs back into tabletop. Bring both arms up. As you bring your right foot down, bring your left arm back, come back center, and alternate one leg at a time. So this is a really nice way to get abdominal work in, get mobilization in our shoulders and our hips, containing that neutral spine without straining your neck. So we're doing ab work without pulling our necks up. And bring those knees in again. And this time we want you to wrap your hands around your hamstrings and roll all the way up with an assisted roll up. So since we're already sitting, let's come into our Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Let your knees drop down as low as they will for you and let them naturally come up. So we're just up and down. And really just be mindful of what you are feeling. So if you feel any strain in your knees, don't go down as far. Maybe play around with the distance of where the feet are. So resisting the urge to bounce. We don't want to bounce like this. We want to really be mindful about the movement. Good, that's much better. So continuing to hold on to the ankles, aiming your chest towards your feet as you bend your elbows. Stop where it feels the edge for you. So where does it feel like you're getting some work done, but you're not overdoing it? And continue to breathe, reaching your chest towards your feet. And then come back up to sitting tall And we're just going to extend out our right leg. Place your left foot onto your right inner thigh and making sure you're sitting nice and tall on those sit bones. So a lot of times we find ourselves leaning forward, leaning back. Can you find that balance as you lift your left arm up? And we're going to start by gliding our shoulder blade up and down. And then we're going to lift up and over. Feel the length in the left side of your body as you reach up and over towards that right leg. If you'd like to challenge yourself more, reach that right arm up. You can always place it back down and maybe open up that left arm behind you a little. Come all the way back up and lay onto your left side. And just start here so you can feel a nice long line and making sure that everything is lined up evenly. And then from here, just notice how it feels to sink into your shoulder. I'd love for you to press into your forearm so that you're supported underneath right here. So lift that top leg. If you need more stabilization, bend your bottom leg. Just kick that top leg forward, point that top leg back. And if you'd like, add your top arm. If you notice that you're starting to wobble a little in your hips, you can bend that bottom leg more. You don't have to go as long as you're going. Now, when your top leg goes back and your top arm comes forward, stay there for a moment and then keep that top leg up. You could keep your top arm here. And let's draw a tiny little circle with that top foot. And reverse it. And then from here, just tap down, come back up, down and up. I hope you're starting to feel this right in here. Stay here. Make sure those hips are stacked on top of each other. I see some of you, your hip is leaning back like this. Really make sure those hips are stacked. You could always bend that top leg to make it a little easier. And then from here, if you can, straighten both legs. Take that top leg, bend the leg as you extend it up and bring it down. Slide that foot in, lift up and down. And as you come down, really feel like you're going through something thick. And then reverse it, bring it up, bend the knee and press through. Up, bend, slide down. Just one more after this. And then bend both knees, lift your feet and open and close that top leg. If that's too much, you could keep your feet on the floor. I just want 4 more here. After this, we'll do something nice. And then we're gonna all lay on our sides. And you could bring your bottom arm as a pillow, or you can interlace your fingers behind your head with your top elbow parallel to the floor. Lift up that top elbow, feel that top shoulder blade rolling towards the floor as you follow your elbow with your head. Feel the chest opening, feel the back opening. Feel how you're getting some movement in your rib cage. And just let yourself be and feel yourself getting more movement, more opening in the chest. Unravel. And we're going to roll to our bellies, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to straighten out your bottom leg and keep your top leg bent at 90 degrees. We're starting to roll towards our bellies and just be really mindful that we don't overarch in the lower back. So now we went from Pilates to yoga. We're doing half frog pose, and most of us are going to feel those inner thighs starting to feel some nice sensation there. We're opening up those inner thighs, which helps with our knees. Now, if you're feeling pretty good here and you want to go for full frog, Let's everybody straighten both legs. And right now we're in Sphinx pose. So all I'd love for you to do is just feel like you're trying to pull your body forward, pull your chest forward. So we're more extension in the upper back. And then from here, curl your toes under and find a plank. From your plank, come down to tabletop, and we'll do a couple cats and cows. So as you exhale, find your cat. Inhale, find your cow. We're about to do something that we already did on our backs, but now on our hands and knees. As you extend your left foot back, send your right arm forward, and then come down and switch and down, and continue alternating your hand and foot. Okay, so full frog. I personally, I'm on a nice padded carpet, but if I was on a yoga mat, I would get some towels and roll them so they were under my knees. I'm gonna widen my stance, so both knees are going out to the side, and I'm gonna come down to my forearms and bring my feet so that they're right in the same line as my knees. Now I'm supporting myself with my forearms, and I'm getting a nice inner thigh stretch on both sides. Now, if you're feeling okay here, you can come even lower and get your chest to the mat. The hardest part, and I'm not there today, is to keep those hips in line with the knees. So I'm gonna stay here. And if you're feeling nice and open, you can come all the way down to your chest and just stay here. Now, the easiest way to get out of this is to kind of roll forward and straighten out both legs so that you don't overdo anything. I'm hoping that was okay for everybody. That's more of an advanced yoga pose, but we really could use those inner thighs. So now press yourself up into a cobra, and then find upward facing dog, and then shift back into child's pose. Hips towards the heels, extend your hands, let your head rest onto the mat. Then come back up, and we're gonna come to sitting again, but this time we're gonna extend out our left leg, sitting nice and tall, and reach your right arm up, making sure you're sitting tall on the sit bones. We're gonna lift all the way up and over. If you'd like to challenge yourself, lift that left arm up. You can always place it back down and just open up that right arm behind you a little. Take a nice deep breath here. Then come back center, come up, and we're gonna lay onto our right side now. And keeping yourself nice and supported, straighten out both legs, keeping the alignment of everything. Bend the bottom leg for stabilization, flex your top foot forward, point your top leg back. Alternate with your arm if you like. If you still need help, you can keep that arm on the floor. And then keep that top leg back, top arm forward, and feel that stretch. And then keep the leg up, and we're just gonna circle that top leg. So I'm going 8 times one direction. And reverse it. Keep those hips stacked. And then from here, tap and lift. Watch that you don't sink into that shoulder. I just caught myself. And then straighten both legs, bend that top leg, extend it up, and slide it down. So we're only going as high up as it feels right and good to you. So this side I'm not quite as high up. We never want to overdo what we're at. And then bring it up, bend the knee, and come down. Bring it up. You could come higher than me if it's right for you. Up, bend, and come down. And last time, up, bend, come down. We're gonna bend both knees, lift your feet, and open and close that top leg 8 times. Keep supported. And then the nice part, you get to lay down, interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows are stacked, knees are stacked. Lift up that top elbow and start to roll back. Feel that top shoulder blade reaching towards the mat as you roll back. And just let yourself be and feel yourself naturally opening up. Unravel. I'd love to stay there a lot longer. Okay, so we did half frog on the one side. We're going to do half frog, but we won't do full frog again. So straighten out that bottom leg, keep the top leg bent, and roll to your belly. So I guess I should have mentioned you didn't have to do full frog at all, but I definitely wanted to give you the option. So I'm hoping you could feel your inner thigh, and you're really working more towards thoracic as opposed to lumbar extension. We definitely want to be careful about that. I still feel a nice inner thigh stretch here, and it's not quite as intense as both legs. And then when you're ready, straighten out that bottom leg and come back up and grab your foam rollers, and we're going to put them right by our knees. Start to walk yourself forward, and the foam roller is right under your knees. I'm going to bend my knees because there's a wall behind me, and I just want you to roll back and in, ideally keeping your legs straight. You're going from right at the crease of your hips to right above your knees. So what I see a lot of when I teach, I see a lot of over-ambitious people. When I come in, I see a lot of this. That's not what we're going for. We're really going, whoops, now I'm cramping up. We're going for a stretch, and I'm sorry, I'm cramping up big time. So keep doing that. Getting your quadriceps opening up. Forward and back. And then come back in, and we're going to change the rollers so that we're going to lay back and open up our chests. So we're going to lay all the way back. You want your bra to be right over the roller. Your hands are holding your head so you're not overstretching or pulling your neck. You're going to let your head, neck, and shoulders come down towards the floor as you exhale, and then come back up. Using your breath, watching that we don't flare our rib cages. We're just letting ourselves, if you feel good here, stay here with your head on the mat and let your elbows open up. Really get a nice extension in that thoracic spine. And just watch that we're not overarching. I can't really demonstrate it because it would be really bad for me. But you can see here, there's not a huge big space in my lower back. It almost looks like it's pressing into the floor. It's not. That's physically impossible, but you can see there's a nice extension in the upper back, and I'm not overextending in the lower back. Just stay here for a breath or two. And then when you feel ready, you're going to exhale, lift up. And we get to give ourselves a nice massage. We're just going to roll up and down. And then let your neck rest on top of the roller. And roll your head side to side, looking from left to right, getting into the neck. It should feel great. If you've been having neck issues, this is a really nice one. It helps. This position here helps fight the tendency towards tech neck, because most of the time we're bringing our heads forward or looking down. This kind of releases that. That and that extension in the chest. So when you're ready, you're going to exhale, lift your head up, remove the roller, and we're going to set the roller right under our feet. Now I can tell you already, I'm probably going to cramp up. So we're just going to work on some bridging, and as you exhale, start to lift your hips up one vertebra at a time, making sure there's one long line from your shoulders to your knees, and then slowly roll down. If you'd like, you can bring that roller closer in and roll up again and roll back down. One more time, come up and hold it here and just roll your feet forward and back. I'm really pleasantly surprised that I did not cramp up. And then slowly roll down. Bring your roller in, lift your hips up and place that roller or your hips right on top of the roller. So you can see that these are where my hip bones are, and I'm right above the roller. Now just wrap your hands around your right shin. If that feels pretty good to you, extend your left leg straight, getting a nice inner thigh and hip flexor stretch in the top of that leg. Press that left leg towards the earth and just allow yourself to feel the stretch. So we all could use hip flexor. Circle your right foot from the ankle joint. Reverse the circle. Now start to slide that left heel in. Place your right foot down to the floor. Now wrap your hands around your left leg, and if it feels okay, straighten out your right. So if you're really tight, you're not going to be able to straighten that leg out completely. We don't want to force it. But once you're here for a little, see if it feels okay to lengthen it a little more. So we only go as far as it feels okay to us. And we're going to circle that left foot from the ankle joint. And reverse it. And just stay here for a moment. Really allow the quadricep and hip flexor to release. And then slide that leg in and bring it up. So now your knees are over your hips, your shins are parallel to the floor, and we're going to rock side to side. So now we're getting a little secondary work is the abs, but we're getting a nice massage in our hips. And come back center. If you need to readjust the roller so it's in the right positioning, do that. Extend your legs to the sky, and we're just going to do like we're doing cross-country skiing. So the length depends on you. The lower you go, the more intense. But if you happen to have that hip snapping thing going on, we don't want to go so low that you hear the snap every time you come down. You start lighter like this, and then you explore and see if you can feel yourself loosening up. Now start to bicycle, and you only go down as low as it feels good to you. Really point the toes if you can, if you're not going to feel cramping. I'm hoping I am not the only one feeling my abdominal muscles kicking in. And then reverse it. And again, find the distance that works best for you. And then bring both feet up, heels together, toes apart. Lower them to where you can without changing your posture. Bend and straighten your legs. So everything we've done, whether you use a foam roller or a pillow or something rolled up, can be done in your bed. So there's really no reason why you can't get some form of exercise in. Now wrap your hands around your shins, and now we're sort of in a child's pose on our backs. place your feet to the mat, remove the roller, and do that again. Just hug your shins in, and let's take happy baby. So wrapping your index finger and middle finger around your big toes, rock a little side to side. And then just hold your right leg, and your left leg could either be bent like this, you can let the right leg relax, or you can straighten it out. We're just gonna bend and straighten that right leg. You can point and flex. You can choose to ignore one or the other. It doesn't matter. Right now we're just working on loosening up those hamstrings and feeling how it affects your body. That's why I like to play around with pointing and flexing. It's like a nerve glide. And then straighten that leg out and gently press your hamstrings into your hand and release a little, and circle your right foot from the ankle joint. And reverse it. And then from here, if it feels good, we're gonna climb up our leg, hands around your calf, and press your calf into your hands. And then inhale, release back down. Exhale, press. Inhale, down. Exhale, press. Inhale, down, and open that right leg on a diagonal to the right side. If you're able to reach your right big toe with your index finger and middle finger without too much strain, great. If not, you can always grab your ankle. So you want to do the best version for you, or you can use a strap. Take a couple breaths here so we're feeling the hamstrings opening up. And then bend that knee and bring it back center. So my right leg is in 90 degrees, my left leg is straight. I'm gonna do my best to keep my right shoulder on the floor as I cross my right leg all the way over towards the left side. If you'd like, you can place your leg on a roller so that you can keep everything even. If you have the mobility, you could let your knee drop to the floor. And let your head look over your right shoulder. Take another deep breath here. Roll back and place both feet on the mat. Pick up your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh, and aim that knee away from you. And just rock your legs a little side to side. Come center. Pick that left leg off the mat and just keep yourself in this nice position here where you're feeling a nice stretch in your hips. If this isn't a deep enough sensation for you, wrap your hands around your shin. And stay and breathe. Do your best not to hike that right shoulder up. So right now we're really opening up that right hip. And take a moment here and relax. So maybe this is good for you and you don't want to go any further, or maybe you want to tilt your legs an inch towards the left and get deeper into that right hip. The only place I really don't want you to feel this is your knee. Then come center and release your right leg to the floor and hold the back of your left leg. Same thing, just start straightening and bending that left leg. I started with my knee bent, but you can always straighten it out, taking your time. So you want to find the best version for you always. Keep that leg straight. Press your leg into your hands and release. If you want to go deeper, climb your hands up your leg. Press your leg into your hand and release back down. Press your leg into your hand and release. I press as I exhale. Press, come down and open up that left leg to the left side. Same thing, if you like, you can wrap your hands around your big toe, or you could just hold onto your calf or use a strap. I'm keeping my hand here to remind me to keep my right hip anchored into the mat. And I'm only allowing myself to go as far as it feels safe and good to me. I feel inner thigh and hamstring on the left side. Take another deep breath, hold this, and then bend your knee and come back here. So your left knee is bent, both shoulders are on the floor. Keeping your left shoulder on the floor as much as possible. Cross that left leg all the way over to the right. So if you need a little more support, you could take your roller and rest your top leg on top of the roller. If you're okay without it, you can go ahead and stay here. It's really up to you. And roll your head to look over your left shoulder. Just stay here and breathe and observe how each side feels differently. And maybe you can actually feel like why it's important that we turn our heads to the other side. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then roll back to your back. Bend both knees, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, and just start rocking side to side. Hopefully that feels pretty good. If you'd like to go a little deeper, pick your right leg off the mat. If you'd like to go even deeper, wrap your hands around your right shin. Just stay here for a couple breaths, see how that feels. And then if you'd like, tilt your legs an inch to the right. So now we're getting deep into that left hip. Use your breath. And then unravel. Come back into happy baby. And rock a little side to side. Wrap your hands back around your hamstrings. Roll yourself all the way up to sitting nice and tall. Extend your arms up and think of pressing your lower back into an imaginary wall as you reach forward. And then come back up to sitting tall and reach forward again. And come back up. One more time. And then come back up. From here, we're just going to come back to sitting. And you can sit however feels good to you. We're just going to reach our right ear to the sky. Stay here and just feel the stretch in the right side of your neck, keeping that right shoulder down. And then turn your head, look down at your left armpit, and stay here for a moment. Then roll your chin center and lift your head up. Now you're going to reach your left ear to the sky and stay here for a moment. Look down at your right armpit. Roll your chin center and lift your head up. Now I want everybody to ball up your hands, squeeze and open them wide. Squeeze and open wide. Again, squeeze, open wide. One more time. And then bring your hands behind your head and watch that we don't overdo our elbows. They're in their natural alignment. So if you're in your natural alignment, they're actually forward a little bit. This is not really great. You want to be in a nice, comfortable position. So I want you to think of pressing your head into your hands gently, and then just start to lift your chest towards the sky, only as far as it feels okay to you. Your head is actually resting into your hands, and then come back center. Stay here, lift your right elbow towards the sky. So same thing as when we do that side leg stretch. You're really feeling the length in the right side of your body and the support in your left. Come back center and switch sides. Then come back center and bring your hands to your hearts. Bring your hands into Jai Mudra above your head. Feel the connection of your palms, and then find your thumbs to your third eye. Take a moment here, feeling the connection of everything. We're going to seal in our practice with a bow. And to honor ourselves and each other, together we say, Namaste. And thank you.